Hey everybody, we are live. It is Bitcoin Steven and the BTC Guru. How are we doing today?
We're doing awesome. Another beautiful day.
It is, isn't it?
Glad to be breathing.
Glad to be breathing. Life is good. It's I got to play golf yesterday, playing a little,
Awesome.
little golf match yesterday for the Torrey Pines Men's Club. We played against Singing Hills.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And then who came out singing? You or them?
well, we did this time, and I kind of came out. I felt like and that's one thing about golf. Sometimes when you really want something, it's really hard to do. But
Right.
yesterday, the more you want it, the harder it gets. But 3 weeks ago, I was supposed to be playing in my first match, but I put it down on the calendar like a month later. So
Oh,
they
boy.
called. They called me when they're on the tee. They're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, what do you mean, where am I?" And so I felt really bad. So we were playing the same guys that my one guy that I didn't show up with, my partner, he had to play these two guys and he got crushed, there last time. And he's like, well, he goes, I hope you're going to help out, for this
Yeah,
time.
I'll make up for
Like,
it. Trust me.
okay, so that's what we get to. And I happened to, hit it about 8 feet away on the first hole and birdied it, and hit it about 15 feet away on the second hole and birdied it. And looked over at
Nice.
him and I said, yeah, I think we got this.
That's
And
good.
we closed them out after like 15 holes. So it was really, it was a lot of fun.
Fun. Yeah, I love what you just said, where, sometimes if you want something so bad, you're grabbing onto it and you're choking it.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just got to let go, sit back, and let it play out. And those are the times you usually play the best. You
that,
get out of your own way. And usually when your business idea starts flowing and all that stuff.
yeah, it's such a big thing is getting out of your own way and stress that your body causes in different situations. I was talking to my daughter about this the other night because she's actually having some sort like an in vitro kind of therapy kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I had told her that when Diana, my wife, when she wanted to get pregnant, it was like she just was every day she was tested. She was so stressed about it. She wanted it so bad. And I told her, I said, it just wasn't happening. And I told her, I said, look, as long as you are allowing your body to get stressed like this, it's not going to work. I said, you've got to be able to free that up. And, she finally just said, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. And it's literally as soon as she let it go, boom, it happens. And
Yeah, and that's how I met my wife. The same way. I was stressing about finding, I was getting older and all that stuff.
yep.
So when I finally said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to, live my day. Boom, like
Yeah.
within months, boom,
It's
done.
easy to say, but sometimes it's really kind of hard
Yeah.
to to do. And
And our first kid was just like what you said. We, trying, nothing, stressing about it. But I always say that our acupuncturist got my wife pregnant, but I'm the one that did it. But we just went to him. He kind of balanced it out, kind of reduced the stress a little, and then within a few weeks we were pregnant with our first kid.
There
Same
you
kind
go.
of thing.
It is. It's kind of like last week when the U.S. Open was here in San Diego. You had a lot of the hometown guys, okay, that Xander Schauffele and Charlie Hoffman and Phil Mickelson and all these guys that really they wanted it so bad.
Right.
They played this course so many times. It's in their backyard. They want it so bad, and it's so hard, and they didn't get it, and it happens all the time when you have like. We have the farmers tournament that's played here every year,
Yeah.
and you literally never have a local guy win, and it's so hard. I mean, these are guys, this is what they do for a living. And
Yeah,
it's
I
so
know.
hard for guys like that to even like let that all go because when you want it so bad, like Dustin Johnson has a great thing. He says, yeah, golf's easy till you need to do it or till you want it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's real easy when you're just out, like just having fun.
Yeah. You play your best. Usually have your best rounds when you're just out killing it with the guys.
Yeah, just out there having fun, doing stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that's what I love about golf. Also, what I hate about it too. It's a mind game over anything else. The only thing I could relate it to because of I grew up playing baseball. That was my
okay.
I had about 10 years of baseball when I was young, and loved it. But when you bat, it's all in your mind too. When you think you have to do something, or you got to get a pitch somewhere, or you got to hit it to left field, you're always out.
The harder you try,
Yeah,
harder you
if you
try,
just
right?
go with what's happening, take a walk, hit it the right field, whatever. Then usually you're moving the runners and you're scoring runs and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I learned at a pretty young age. If I just get out of my head's way, I normally had a
get in the
great
flow, right?
same with golf. Same with golf. Get out of your head's way. Your body, the memory muscle is going to take over and hit the swing the way it's supposed to, and then it's just up to you to pick the right club and make the right decisions on the course, which is still a mind game too. So it's a mind game on a mind game. That's why Tiger was so good about it, because his dad just beat the crap out of him from like age 2. I don't know if that's a life I'd want to live, but that's why he was so good, I believe, and that's why he fell apart so bad too, I think.
Right. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
mental game just left him.
You have to trust the process and not be so, focused on the outcome.
Yeah.
You have to trust the process of what you do, and really just like in golf, you when you're getting over the shot, you can't worry about whether or not you make it or miss it. All you want to do is put a good swing on it, and you can't control that. And it's like there's a lot of parallels in the different sports, and just like Michael Jordan playing basketball. You'd see these guys where they just like get in the flow, right?
Yeah,
and they can't miss anything, but that's because you're not thinking, right? They're just like reacting and just going with it,
Yeah, he had that switch that if he was having an off day, he would somebody would say something, he would turn that switch. Oh, really? Okay. Turn that switch on and just let his body do what it does. And he does some. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Michael Jordan highlights just recently. Just kind of. But
did you watch The Last Dance?
Yeah. That was I haven't seen it all the way through. I've been seeing bits and pieces of it, but yeah, it's a great.
It really is good. I watched the Tiger Woods thing too. It's kind of like watch some of these prodigies, and God, they were obviously given an immense amount of talent. Okay,
right.
They have a lot of God-given talent, but the amount of determination and amount of work that they put into their craft is you just got to respect that so much. It's like these guys just didn't wake up and be that good.
Yeah, like Jerry Rice of the Niners. He came from small school. His whole professional football career, Jerry Rice, was all hard work.
Oh yeah,
he had that raw talent, and then the hard work is what brought him into a Hall of Fame type of level player.
Right. It's like Tiger. He outworked everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. He just absolutely had more talent, and he outworked everybody. It's like, how are you going to beat a guy like that?
Yeah. Yeah. First one on the range, last one off the range.
Right.
All that stuff. Kobe Bryant was the same way. After games, you'd be back in the gym shooting. They're like, what the heck are you doing? You just shot 50 points. You're still shooting. Yeah. Got to keep it up.
Or you felt something was off or whatever. Right. It's,
and these mindsets are very important in life and in business. And it's part of what the good thing about, kind of what you've been through, Steve, is, with your mentor, with Anthony Robbins, and your history with large scale operations and creating successful companies, and me on the technical side of the same kind of parallel and the same thing, is the mindset is very important. And it's kind of what we bring together in our classes and such, is to help teach that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important that, you've got to have the right mindset of, what are you trying to do every day? Especially being an entrepreneur, one of the biggest challenges is, you've got to be a self-starter. You've got to have a plan. You've got to know what you're going to be doing, because there's nobody to tell you what to do.
Yep.
And it's real easy to just kind of walk away and not do all the stuff you need to do. I've had that all the time, and no matter what you do, and no matter, how often you do it, you still have roadblocks. I mean, I do sometimes when it comes down to, like, if I want to put together a video or something like that. I mean, I can just sit there and just stare at a blank screen for just forever till I can kind of get the thought process going of what it is I'm trying to say. And then it'll kind of flow. And I mean, I've been guilty sometimes. I just go, I can't find it. I'm going to the golf course. It's like, but you've got to have that discipline to understand what it is you need to do, because nobody's going to tell you.
Yeah. And you just said it there too. If you're getting in your head, stop, go do something else. I mean, it's a key part of being successful, a successful entrepreneur, because you're busting through walls that nobody's ever busted through most of the time. You're doing things that nobody's done before. With us doing this case study with Kins Coin, this is a new industry. This is kind of a new way to raise visibility, to a passion of from your family, and then help other people in the process. So it's kind of old, but it's kind of new. And we're gonna run into things that we're gonna have to figure out and solve, which is so far so good. We've been making progress on it, and it's this, like we were talking right before we got on. You and I are very, very excited about getting through this process and showing this case study to you guys of how to take an idea and get it into a token and then promote it out there and see what happens.
Yeah, what we're talking about is really going to be something that could possibly be very revolutionary. I mean, it really can. I mean, once you start to understand what it is that we're really going to be doing here, and how this can really create some impact, I think you're really going to want to stand up and take notice, because it's got everything that you could possibly ever need to have. It's got all the sizzle, right? You've got all the great story, and when we accomplish this, not if, when we accomplish this, okay, you're going to see a model that you can be able to use and take and go. It will open up your eyes to possibilities that you just don't have any idea right now that are available and that are out there. Let me just tell you that I'll kind of just tease you with that. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited about that. I was reading, just before I got on, I was reading some headlines, and El Salvador, which announced, they wanted to Bitcoin as their national thing. And then the World Bank said, no, you can't do that. And they're like, what? You can't tell us what to do, kind of thing. And there's some internal, one group inside El Salvador wants to go with the traditional central bank and, follow the existing system, which is crumbling at the moment.
Right.
And, but I saw today that they are going to issue $30 in Bitcoin to every citizen of El Salvador.
Right. Isn't that cool?
I thought was awesome. I thought that's great. And they're putting in, I don't know, 2,800 Bitcoin ATMs all through the country. So they're really going for it. And I think this is awesome. It shows you that the people can change something and really change their future. And then I started reading the discussion, and it's kind of slowly taken in the United States here. It's slowly starting to take ground. Is our Social Security system is basically broke. But, they've spent it all. And, there's millions of us that have been putting money into Social Security that we'll probably never see. And, especially my generation, your generation, we're like, we can't even rely on that because we know it's gone.
Right.
They've loaned it out, whatever. It's completely gone.
Don't worry. They'll print more.
Yeah. Which makes it even more worthless. But what if we paid into Social Security in Bitcoin? Then we're talking about storage, in other things, and where Bitcoin's no leakage and blah blah blah. If we just made that small change, then basically that Social Security is back in business, and it's back how it was originally intended to be. Is that when you're done with your working years, it'll give you some income for your retirement years, and it's a amazing idea that is getting traction. And like, well, how are you gonna do that? Well, one of the ways is these old fogies that are in our government now, they got to get out, because they're just
right.
they're these career politicians. Career politician doesn't work. You just basically do it for the money, and whoever's paying you the highest bill is what you're going to do. They're not really representing us. Right. Getting them out is important, and they get the people, like-minded people, like that guy that's running for mayor in New York. He wants to make New York the Bitcoin haven. And which would be awesome. I mean, right now there's so much regulatory crap. It's the hardest state, and Manhattan's the hardest city in the world to run a Bitcoin company. And he wants to change that. It's to people like him and people like us that gets the word out there. And then you call your local congressman and say, I want to start paying my Social Security in Bitcoin. Make it happen. Otherwise, I'm voting for somebody that will. And and our voices, we as the people, can make a change like this. Just imagine that. Imagine if the Social Security, first of all, make it a smart contract where nobody can freaking mess with it, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So when it goes in, it pays. So much goes for expenses, and the rest goes directly to all the holders of that token. It's in the code. Nobody can change it. That's amazing.
That is. It's your. I think it's the Maloof brothers that own the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
And the Sacramento Kings are giving all of their players the option to take their money in Bitcoin.
Oh, okay? Really?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that's an NBA team that's doing that.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of NFL players. I mean, Joey Lawrence, the number one draft pick, said he's going to take his signing bonus, in Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah. Why not? Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like,
how much money do you need?
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of something that could have, like, imagine this. Okay. Marshall Falk is a guy that I played golf with, right? Quite a bit. And he finished playing football probably, I don't know, at least 10 years ago. Okay. But he had deferred some of his money. Okay. To where on January 1st of 2020, of the very first day of the football season, he got like $25 million.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It was like a one-time deal, right?
Right.
Imagine if they took that money back in 10 years ago and put that into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's like he would be a billionaire.
Yeah. Or vice versa. If the owners did that and still paid him his 25 mil, they'd have 100+ mil left over.
Absolutely. And being able to, earn your money and get paid in Bitcoin would be an amazing thing. Our country, unfortunately, it's, what we're going to need to have is we're going to need entrepreneurs to start offering it to their people, because the government is not going to do it. It's just, as much as we would like to see that, we have to understand that they're never going to do that. They don't like this. Okay. They want their own form of digital currency, and they're going to try and say, oh, we have this and it's better than Bitcoin and it's this and it's that. And they're going to do everything to try and push you away from it, because they don't have any control of it, and they can't see exactly what you're doing. And so that's never really going to change. But encourage your employers. I've been accepting Bitcoin with clients now for, I think, since 2016. I offer them a 10% discount if they paid in Bitcoin. And why not, right? I love getting paid in Bitcoin, and it's you're getting paid in something that's definitely going to have long-term value. Again, you are going to have the spikes. You're going to have some of these little spikes where it goes up and it goes down.
But if you look at the chart, the spikes at max are 6 months long. So if you take that, and if you want to be ultra conservative with Bitcoin, then make sure you have 6 months worth of runway where you don't have to sell you can at any point in time, you could not sell your Bitcoin for 6 months. And when it goes back up, you can sell it or leverage it to do what you got to do. You just be smart about it, and don't fret about pennies either. Because, when I first got into Bitcoin, I'm like, well, shoot, it just changed, and my $100 I'm supposed to get is worth 96 right now.
Yeah.
2 hours later, it's worth $108.
Right.
So I learned just like I don't put limits on my orders when I buy Bitcoin. I just buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go up, it's going to go down, but in the long term, it's the best storage of values ever. It has no leakage. It has a every year 100% gain, if not more, each year after year. So, and it's in the code to do this, and the scarcity is in the code. So just let the math do what it's supposed to do. And if you want to be conservative, then be smart about how you're doing things. Don't put your last dollar in there. And if that's all you have is $1 and you got to put it in there, then just be real smart about it, and don't leverage it, and write it out, and don't sell when it's low, and don't buy when it's high, kind of thing. Do the opposite: buy when it's low, sell when it's high.
Yeah, basically, and any of you out there that have got kids, okay, instead of even trying to think about this on your own, okay, because if you're doing it for yourself, you're going to be looking at it all the time. Okay, if you've got kids, or you plan on them in continuing education, be that college or business or whatever it is that you try and want to help them with, go ahead and start putting some money away in Bitcoin for them now. If they've got 10 years or something like that, you are going to be so happy that you did that. And you're putting it away for your kids. You shouldn't need to worry about what happens tomorrow, the next day, in 6 months, in 3 months. Your kids aren't going to be touching that money until, if it's in, say, 10 years, okay, do you really believe that it's going to be worth more than it is now in 10 years? Okay,
right. And how do you
as
know
long as you can answer yes to that question, that's where
right.
you should put the money.
Right? Exactly. And who knows where the dollar's going to be in 10 years? Who knows if it's even going to be around? We don't know. There's already countries like El Salvador that are fleeing the dollar.
I'm just reading another headline here right now. It's Tanzania's central bank says it's working on the president's cryptocurrency push, they want to also, jump in line and do the next thing also with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and
so where do you want to put your faith in, put your trust of future buying power, something that's mathematically programmed to increase in value, or something that's completely subject to people that are out of your control and they don't have your best interest in mind?
Right. Yeah. Where somebody else, where they can get their hands in your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Other people can go, they can take it. They can make decisions that affect the value of it,
Yeah. And go, if you have an exchange account right now, go look at the volume of Bitcoin on exchanges. It's extremely low right now because there's nobody hardly selling Bitcoin. The only ones selling are the people that get that this fear eats them up, and they're like, I'm going to lose all my money, and they sell at the wrong time, and those are getting less and less and less and less.
Yes, they're less and less, but it's the 97%. You got the 97% of the people that follow the 3%, right?
Yeah.
The 3% are the ones that now want the Bitcoin. Okay, they wait a long time to get it. They've got the money to buy it. Okay, so they're the ones pushing fear out into the market. And the 97%ers that don't have a lot of Bitcoin, they don't have a lot of experience with this. They see the graphs going up and down. They get scared and they sell. If those people weren't getting scared and selling, I mean, there would be no market to buy any Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. And then, I think I want to leave with this today. Raise your hand if you have a cell phone. Hope, everybody that's listening to this in now and in the future, you got to raise your hand. You got a cell phone. Well, right now, live, as we're doing this, you see that? Those are Satoshis that I'm earning just sitting here on my cell phone, on my Apple phone. We're going to show you how to do stuff like this. This is why we're here. And why not? These, it's only a Satoshi that's 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. Yeah, but pretty soon a Satoshi is going to be, what if when they say Bitcoin can go up to 100 billion to almost $1 trillion in the next 5 years because of how it's programmed. Well, that means a Satoshi could be worth up to $100. And I'm just sitting here talking to you guys, earning $100 every few minutes. If you use that example, and so if I earn these and just keep it in my wallet and leave it, it's going to add up. And this is one way to do it. On my computer right now, I'm on an Apple laptop. I'm mining Bitcoin, and the reason why I did that is, China shut down two huge pools out there, which basically left a lot of mining bandwidth for other people like me. I think I talked about this on Wednesday. So I downloaded some mining software and put it, went to YouTube and figured out how to make it run on my Apple laptop. And I'm mining, as we're talking here, I'm mining a little bit of Bitcoin. You guys could do the same thing. And that's what they're here to show you. And why not?
Absolutely.
It's not that much effort, and it could drastically change your life, especially if you're in areas where a few $100s could really change your life. And if you have a cell phone, this is a few $100s coming in every month.
Right.
And that's amazing.
It is. Let me leave you guys with this one thought. Okay. In 1997, the internet had 150 million users. Okay. It took until 2005. It took 7.5 years to get to 1 billion users.
Wow.
Right now, Bitcoin is about where the internet was in 1997. Okay. But they say that it's only going to be 4 years before there's 1 billion. Okay. So if there's 150 million users now of Bitcoin, and in 4 years, there's going to be 1 billion users of Bitcoin, but there is not going to be any more than the 20 million Bitcoin than there is today, than there will be in 4 years. What does that mean? Okay.
What does that mean? If you hold
it's math, right?
Yeah. If you hold 1/10 of a Bitcoin or more, you're going to be in the money big time.
Big time. I mean, there's going to be 1 billion people that have Bitcoin in 4 years, guys. There's 150 million now. Yep. Okay. It's supply and demand. Okay. But supply, there is no more supply. So when you have limited supply and you have really big demand, what does that mean? It means that the price goes up. Okay. It goes up substantially. So I mean, that's where we are, guys. This is the internet in 1997. Okay. And this is like getting into Amazon at the very beginning. Okay. You go buy that stock like right now. Would you like to go back in a time machine and do that? Well, this is it, man. You got a chance to do that right now. This is where we're at. And it's going to get there in 4 years, whether you do it or you don't do it. So it's like, why not see what happens? Okay. And like I said, if you've got kids, throw some money at this for your kids for the next 4 years and don't worry about it. And you're going to be pretty excited. I promise you, when we hit 1 billion users, go look at your account. Okay. When Bitcoin hits 1 billion, go look at your account. And if you put $100 in today, I mean, you'd probably have an awful lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, we're going to leave you with this, a little teaser. You know, we're launching Kids Coin, the wheels. Just got the final revision of our logo there. Kind of give you a little teaser. We'll show it to you later. But it's the last part of creating our metadata for the token. And so now we'll get that done over the weekend. We'll be launching the token, you know, very, very soon to show you guys how to do that. And the reason why we're doing this, again, is just a case study that we're showing you live, and it'll be part of the class that we're offering to you to be able to learn and earn while you're learning, and be able to do this for you and your family, or you and your business, or whatever you want to do.
Right. And after you see how we do it and what we do with it, I'm sure that that's going to spark some ideas that, you know, you'll come up with something. Trust me. You'll figure out how it relates to your business, something that you care about or you have passionate about. There's just all kinds of things out there that you could do. I mean, I was thinking about, you know, yesterday I was out there going, I wonder if I could create a golf coin. You know, and it was like, you know, to like help underprivileged, help people be able to play golf or whatever. And it's like, hey, you know what? Probably could. You could do whatever you want to with this. It's the sky's the limit. It really is. It opens up the opportunity for us to be able to do things that we could never have done in the past. Okay. We couldn't go out and go create, you know, when you create a coin, it's almost like creating an IPO type of a thing, you know?
In one sense it is. But that's not what we're doing, by the way. But yes, it is. In one sense, it's like that.
In one sense, it is. And you know, I tried going through that process in the past, and that's a very expensive process. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking $500,000 to $2 million to do it properly.
Just to get going. Okay. I mean, and you've got to have investment.
And everybody that's helping you got a big piece of the action.
Yeah, you got to have all kinds of money you already spent, and then all kinds of equity you got to get up just to put the package together. Okay. And you go through our class, okay? At the end of the class, you will have a token there. You'll have it done. So you'll have a marketing plan. You'll like have something that you couldn't have done for $500,000 in the stock world.
Yeah, right. And if you want to use you know, if you're familiar with the terms market maker, we'll show you how to do, even with a token that you just create on your own, get it to people that can help with the market maker and help get on these changes and all that kind of stuff. We're going to show, first of all, we're going to show it live here on the show every day as we go through this case study, and then it'll be part of the curriculum. Yeah.
What would your life be like? I mean, what would your life be like if you had your own like publicly traded company that you actually had something of value? Think about that this way. I mean, you can literally kind of do this with the blockchain. You know, you can. And once you start to spend some time with us next week and see kind of where we're going and what we're thinking about this, it's going to really kind of open up your eyes as to, you know, some of the possibilities, because we're able to merge things and just go out. We are going to be able to disrupt some different industries out there with what we're doing. We're going to really disrupt them, aren't we, Doug?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's that's what I love. I love disruption is awesome.
Yes, disruption
is awesome. Look at the history. That's where the you know, category makers, the disruptors, the contrarians, that's who made the billions. So if you have any mindset of bettering your financial situation and also giving back and you know, try to be a good citizen here on earth, that's what we're going to show an example of here on this show and then in our training.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's Friday. You guys have a very good weekend. We will be back actually Monday. I have a golf tournament.
Oh,
imagine that. Imagine that. But see, and that's another reason, guys, you got to be, you want to be successful in life so you can, do the things that you're passionate about, do the things that you're passionate about and do the things that you enjoy. So we won't be there Monday, but we will be back bright and early Tuesday. We will have a lot of really good things for you, and hope you guys have a great weekend and go buy some Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right.